Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor. And do you suffer from hitting behind the golf ball? I know a lot of people that I coach, they come to me with that as a problem. So this video today is all about how to prevent hitting behind the ball. So the most common reason why people do hit behind it is they're trying to hit up on the golf ball. And in trying to hit up on the ball, our weight stays back behind the ball and we either make contact behind or we hit up and we hit it thin, so it's poor contact. Now ideally we want to get ball first, turf second, and I'll show you a way of doing that later. But the most common reasons for all this, and the first thing I start with people is I check ball position. So if we have the ball positioned in the middle of my stance, that gives me the best chance of making good contact with the ball first. Some people say sternum. Sternum's not wrong, but I think the sternum, the nose, my hands should all be over the middle of my stance. And if I can get that right, that's going to help, because we swing the club in an arc. The club is traveling at its fastest point at the bottom of the arc. Where is the bottom of the arc? It's located underneath my sternum, underneath my nose, or halfway between my feet. They're all in the same place. So one of the drills that we can do is we can just get an alignment stick. Could be a golf club, could be any number of things. And I just pop my alignment stick down like that. And I just take my setup. Then when I think I'm right, I glance down and think, gee, that ball's just, it's not really in the middle of my stance. My left foot is closer to the stick than my right foot. So I think, okay, I've got to move my feet to the left. So if I do that, and that feels like it's back in my stance, and it is, it's back to the middle. It's now directly underneath my nose, middle of the feet, underneath the sternum. Ball position is critical. So from there, I can then just hit a shot, and we can see there, the ball was right there. I've hit the ball and my divot has started just slightly past the golf ball. So that's sort of what we want to do. If I have that right and I do the good swing, that's going to happen. But a lot of people don't trust the club's ability to get the ball in the air. So what they do, even if the ball's in the right position, they start getting to the top, falling back to the right and doing things like that. So on this one here, my divot is starting a good 3 inches behind where the ball was. So with that, you can see I stayed back, I pulled it. It can do all sorts of things, but it wasn't great contact and I lost a lot of power. So you can actually just think about letting your nose come forward. So I've mentioned in previous videos about the letter K, following through and forming the letter K with my legs. So that's certainly a drill that you can do here. But we start with making sure the ball's in the middle of my stance. I just swing the club back. And then as I come down, I'm going to hold my follow through and form the letter K. That's going to enable me to shift my weight forward in a proper way, gives me the best chance of making good contact. So we'll see how we go with that one. And that was pretty good contact. You can see here, I've got my letter K. My weight has moved from my right side to my left side. And all of that is a great way of trying to help build some confidence and get better ball contact. So we're trying to get ball first and then turf second. So another drill we can utilize is to use a golf tee, and I'm just going to put that golf tee down there. It's about 1 inch in front of the golf ball. So once again, make sure the ball's correctly positioned in their stance. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to try and hit the golf ball, but I'm also going to try and make sure my club can hit the tee. So with this in mind, it gives me a downward focus. I'm really thinking about striking downwards, not falling back and hitting upwards. So this is a really simple drill. Works really well with pitch shots as well. But we'll see how we go with this one. So I've hit a pretty good shot there. I look down and the tee has disappeared. I've made that tee move. So that's a good one. If you don't have a practice area where you can utilize grass, you might have synthetic mats. I've got a workaround for you for this one. So we'll do the same thing on this shot. And I'm just going to get a coin. So I'm going to slip the coin down there. Probably it's a big coin, so I'll put it a couple of inches in front. I'll move my stick back a little bit. Nicely positioned. And from there I'm going to hit the ball and try and hit the coin. We can hear the sound of the coin disappearing somewhere. So you can use a washer, you don't have to waste money, but I think that's 50 cents well spent. It's a really good drill. So you can do that at the range, you can do it at home. You can just pop it on the ground, out on the back doormat if you want to, and just practice moving our weight from our right to our left, thinking downwards and creating that downward strike. It's also a good idea if I just get rid of the ball, if I get rid of the club, you can actually utilize a golf ball. Just get into your posture and just practice bouncing the golf ball like that. Because in doing so, we're creating the correct weight shift, and I'm thinking about striking down with my hands on the ball. So you can do all of those things. Now the biggest problem is if we don't start fixing this, you're going to have poor contact, you're going to hit balls to the left or to the right, you're going to hit it shorter than what you would currently do, and it's going to make you despondent. So it's just an area that can be fixed. It just needs a little bit of work,